As soon as I realized that we are heading for the side entrance leading to the forest, I think I know where Rin wanted to go, although I couldn't say why she'd want to go there. Then again, I can't really assume my guesses to be anywhere near correct when Rin is concerned. Not even for a quite generous definition of correct. Are we going to the worry tree? I have a feeling we're going either to the worry tree or like the place where we saw the dandelions. The forest behind the walls smells of rain. The last raindrops are still dripping from the wet undergrowth into the earth, despite the rain being gone for a while already. We stroll along with an unhurried pace that Rin sets, giving me time to take in the calming atmosphere. I think I can hear Rin saying hello to at least 3 different trees while she walks past them, but I ignore it, just like the trees do. She leads me to a narrow side path leading up to the hilltops, as I guessed. I peek through the canopy, trying to find a rainbow, but there doesn't seem to be one. It's perfect weather for rainbows. The sun is shining low, and the rain has passed not too long ago. Well, whatever. I lower my eyes from the treetops to see the gaunt back of the girl who is climbing up the hill slowly without losing her balance. A few steps ahead of me on the path, but still within my reach. I don't think I could ever reach a rainbow, but reaching Rin, it seems less impossible than it used to seem. The clear sky, greeting us from above the meadow clearing, seems vast and beautiful. A strong wind is hurling the rain clouds away from the town to the other side of the mountains in the distance. The sight is pretty, but a speck of white flies. Oh my god, oh, it's the dandelions, right? That's the part of the dandelions that fly away. A speck of white flies past the edge of my peripheral vision, but when I turn to look, it's already gone. Another follows, then a third. For a second I thought, like, what the hell, is that a mosquito or something? But before I realize it, dozens of almost invisible small tufts of white are flying all around us. Look, the flowers. Ah, I see it now. The sea of dandelions that covered the hilltop on our last visit has changed over the days. Where there was bright yellow before, there is now fluffy white. Some of the flowers have already shed their seeds, but many are still waiting for a suitable gust of wind. Today those gusts are not in short demand. Every now and then they shake the grass thoroughly, and suddenly the air is thick with dandelion seeds. One by one, the seeds separate from the flower heads and are lifted away. A commonplace event, but one that seems to fascinate Rin for some reason. She's turning her head from side to side, marveling at the change happening all around her as the seeds fly away. I watch them too, following the white tufts floating with the wind towards the horizon, and imagine that I can see them even after they disappear from my sight. Hisao, what is it? Do you love me? I snap to attention to meet her suddenly very serious face that is not looking only at the flowers anymore. What a tough question, asked just like that, out of the blue. Still, her bluntness compels me to answer rapidly. I don't know. Maybe I do. Maybe too rapidly. That's not the correct answer. What does that mean? I don't know. Rin sighs, perhaps unhappy with my wishy-washy answer. I would be too. Me neither. I don't think I know much about love. It's fine, isn't it? How should I know? The shrug of her shoulders seems to say, hesitating to give a firmer answer. She stays silent for only a second too long, but even that second isn't long enough for me to think ahead. I love you. Those 3 words freeze me in place like a rabbit staring into headlights. But I'm not a rabbit. I'm just staring into Rin's eyes that seem far, far too impassive for what she just let out of her mouth. Rin looks pretty serious though, until she sticks out her tongue, frowns a little, and confuses me even more than her words did. Why does she look mildly unhappy? Because she wanted you to say it back, you moron! Was it a confession of her deepest feelings? A test to see how I would react? A test to see how she would react? It tastes weird. Tastes? Yeah. So weird. You're not supposed to eat it, Rin. She laughs, maybe nervously, or so I want to think, but stops midway when she notices how strange it sounds. Like, I don't know what. I don't think there is a word for this. Rin keeps on talking as though there was no meaning behind her words. Steady and careless words dropping from the same tongue that formed the more important ones. A word for... except... it's like... She can't. Find the words. Aww. Rin just keeps staring at me, stumbling with her words as if her brain suddenly ground to a halt. She looks awfully confused, much like how I feel right now as I wait for her to explain. But she doesn't. She just blinks a few times, the flutter of her long lashes catching my fancy because she looks like she is petrified otherwise, until I realize what they were fighting against. It's those weird tears again, not associated with happiness or sadness, not pitiable sobbing, nor laughter of joy. Just tears, spontaneously and without a warning, like that one time in her classroom. Just a few of them, not enough to make a fuss about, so Rin doesn't make a move to hide them, even after noticing. Rin cries, looking like she has no idea why, and somehow a great uneasiness grows in my chest when I look into her watery eyes that stare right back at me. It petrifies me too, the shock of the incomprehensibility of this situation. I just don't know what is happening anymore. Rin, what's wrong? She shakes her head in confusion, stumbling to get the words out of her mouth. Sorry. I might be a little afraid of you. The words are muttered slowly, with a small voice that is as disbelieving of what it's saying as I am. What? Why? I don't know. Saying that just made me feel like that. People cry when they are afraid, right? See? I can do it too. She's averting her gaze now, deliberately not looking at me. It bewilders me, at least as much as what she is saying. I sometimes, with you, want to run away so badly, but I can't move. It's like my legs turn into lemon panna cotta pudding, and my heart feels like it's going to explode. And she slumps her shoulders melancholically. Has a thing like this ever happened to you? I remember the leaden sky above the frozen forest and the sound of the leafless branches crackling against each other. It's like a memory of another life. I think he's thinking about the very first scene, like at the very beginning of the game in the first video, where the girl whose name I've already forgotten confessed to him. Yeah, once. My heart hurt a lot back then, too. But I thought your thing was not contagious. I shake my head, and a tiny, slightly forced smile rises on my lips. The other ailment of my heart could very well be contagious, and I wouldn't care a bit. What are you afraid of? I never thought it was scary. Rin shakes her head desperately, as if knowing that the tangle inside her mind won't be undone with just that. You make me feel that I should be someone else than me. It's a scary thing. It happens when you're being nice to me, like yesterday. I never know what to do at times like that. It's hard. Her voice is barely audible, a whispered admission of something that is too embarrassing to even think, not to mention say aloud. Rin has never been one to be embarrassed, so she does utter it aloud, only timidly, as if by instinct. But I want to do something. But I don't know if this me can. For a moment, we just stare at each other, as if waiting for the other to say something. You are so stupid. Rin's lips taste salty and scared against mine. As I grasp her into an embrace, I feel my heart thumping in my chest painfully. No, even though I am glad that she can say things like that, they make me sad after all. Rin's spirit, her passion, her strength, all those things that I hold dear are the ones I don't want to change. How should I treat them? Where are they headed to? Is that future irrevocably different from mine? That anxiety will never lose its grip on my heart, but I think I could learn to live with it. Slowly, the pain in my heart dies out, and it settles into the same rhythm as Rin's. We listen to that for some time. After our lips break apart, it takes a while for either of us to realize that we can say something now. See? You are a really kind person, even when you are not. It's the most scariest thing ever. I think that all I was ever afraid of is your kindness. Is it bad? Even if you are afraid? She thinks about this for a while, furrowing her brow as though this was some kind of hard math problem. No, I'm alright with it. It's fine if it's you. Like a weight lifted from my chest, her words elate my heart, filling it with, I don't know, happiness? What else could it be? This time, my smile is genuine. Rin steps back, still smiling gently at me, like I do at her. While she wipes her face on her shoulder, I pick up a round, plump dandelion clock and bring it to my pursed lips. They spread out into the wind that picks them up to carry them to a new home. To think, only a few short weeks ago, they were so different. This is change. Hey, so the flowers became what they were meant to become, like you said the last time. What about you? Did you become a true artist? Or did you not, because you ran away? She pauses for a while to ponder my question, and shrugs her shoulders. It almost makes me laugh. The carefree easiness of her gesture is a lovely thing, a sign of how Rin can, truly and really, without any restraints whatsoever, shed the entire weight of the world from her shoulders, should she will so. She is, in every possible and probably every impossible ways, free. And I think I might love her for that. I don't think it matters. Let's just watch the clouds for today. Dang. She takes 5 steps to climb on a large rock so she can rise as high as it's possible here, and stands on tiptoes. When you reach the cloud, every inch counts. Sure, let's watch the clouds. It's good to do something you really want to do every now and then. Yeah, you are probably right. I glance upwards at the blue sky opening high above us. It's a deep, cerulean vastness that spreads to fill my entire field of vision and beyond. For some reason I have to laugh because I know the proper way of pronouncing cerulean, and the big, obviously, how did most of us learn how to pronounce cerulean, right? Pokemon, of course. Yet Rin stays on her rock, peering at the distant horizon where the rain clouds are drifting farther away from us. I have decided something. That dreaming voice of hers, spoken to the wind that carries it to my ears, is lacking resolve in tone, but is full of it in meaning. It's alright to be me after all. It's alright? Her decisions always seem to be pretty far out. Well, I suppose that is an important realization. Coming to terms with oneself, accepting yourself, being fine with what you are. A simple resolution of heart that for some people is overbearingly hard to do, if not impossible. I do realize well enough that I might also be one of those people. Rin too. Maybe we are not that different after all. Maybe to accept someone else, you must first accept yourself. Maybe that is a necessary step which we didn't take until now. Looking at her standing on that rock, I believe that she can find whatever she is looking for, and so can I. The wind catches her hair and clothes, and Rin spreads her short arms into an embrace that is so very, very tiny, but as wide as she can ever do. For a moment, it looks like she herself might take flight, and I have to hold myself back to not reach for her shoulder, to not drag her back to me. But this picture is something I can only watch. It is something for me to remember. Rin's sleeves are flapping freely in the wind, her hair wildly tousled by it, her skin touched by the setting sun. Her sleek form that have come to adore is quivering in the cool wind that carries the small white specks past her, each a beginning of a new flower. All that is engraved inside my heart, like those tiny seeds scattered into the wind. I'm sure that Rin too can take her place in this world without the need to create her own inside of it. Maybe she believes it too, and standing as close to heaven as possible, she is giving the world a big hug. To me, it seems like the entire world could really fit there, between those small arms of hers, inside all of her all-encompassing embrace. Hisao? She looks at me in the same way she calls my name, carelessly over her shoulder, with a strange happiness in her voice and in her eyes. I gaze into those mysterious dark eyes that are curiously twinkling from below her auburn hair. Although I'm not too far from her to see it, I'm sure they are reflecting my image. What is it? What's the word for when it feels inside your heart that everything in the world is alright? Oh my god. Oh my god. Such a beautiful, happy ending of the Rin route. just sort of feel like, you know, despite the struggles that they've faced, despite the how hard it was for them to get to this point, it just really feels and seems like such a beautiful journey of self-exploration as well, you know? Because a huge part of both their struggles at the very beginning was they sort of felt like they had this kind of an identity crisis, not really knowing who they are. But, you know, at the very end here, just now, they just come to grips with who they are and just accept it, rather than having constantly feeling the need to change, to think that whatever they are isn't good enough, or whatever they are, that it won't be accepted. Dang. Well, that was the Rin route. Oh my god. It was just such a beautiful route to play through. As usual, I'm just a little bit lost for words when it comes to, you know, the ending, or trying to organize my thoughts of what has just happened. But dang, I'm actually really sad that it's over right now. But you know what, even though this one has ended, there are still 3 more routes to go, so you know, we may be a little bit sad right now, but there's much more happiness to come in the future. And yeah, wow, as much as I really love Emmy, yeah, this I don't know, this is entirely different. It has such a different feel to it compared to Emmy's route. So it's hard to just say like, Rin was my favorite. It's just in contrast. They're so entirely different. And I enjoyed both like a lot, really a lot. But yeah, I think the thing that we've sort of never explored inside Katawa Shoujo, or at least not in the Emmy route at all, is there are options because of the choices that you make, right? There are actually possibilities of getting bad endings, and there was one with Rin which I'm actually really curious about exploring, and that's probably what I'm going to do in the next video to come. I'm probably just gonna put it all in one video. I'm not entirely sure how long it is and whatnot, but yeah, I'm really interested in the bad ending when it comes to Rin. So that might be, it might take at least one more video or something before we are going to jump into the next route. But dang, I don't know, I just feel like, you know, for the sake of completeness again, even though we didn't really do it with Emmy's route, I might do it with Emmy's route later on, but for now we're just sticking in the Rin route. We've got the what I assume is the good ending, the beautifully good ending, and then we gonna go and find the bad ending. There's actually a particular flowchart that sort of shows like every choice that you make and which path it leads you to, and how you can possibly get a bad ending, how you can possibly get a good ending, how you can possibly get another bad ending, how you can possibly end up in the Rin route, how you can possibly end up in the Lily route, that sort of stuff, with every single choice that there is inside the game, which is something that I sometimes look at, but only afterwards. Like when I'm playing through the route at all, I do not look at a thing. Like I've even forgotten about it while I was playing through it, because I don't want it to spoil things. I don't want to know ahead of time knowing what the correct options are, and then my way, because I always try to motivate the choices that I make, you know, try to justify why I'm going for this particular choice over the other one. And if I know ahead of time, this is the right answer, then it's going to just be, it's not going to be real. It's not going to be, I don't know, I don't want it to be fake, you know. I just really want to be in the moment with this as well, in the present, right, Rin? Alright, high five. Nice. Oh my god, did I say that? Okay. Well, you know what, that is a very good note to end this video on. But yeah, this was the good ending for the Rin route. I am going to explore the bad ending in the next video, but we are I mean, I'm not entirely sure how it's gonna last. I think it's just one video or maybe at the most two, but yeah. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys so very much for watching. This Rin route was absolutely beautiful, amazing to play through, and there's one thing I kind of want to mention though about it, now that I think about it, because my thoughts, even though I'm talking at the same time, my thoughts are still working in the back of my brain. But one thing I feel like, especially throughout the most of the route, is that, I mean, a lot of the cause for Hisao's frustration and doubts and fears was due to the lack of understanding and disconnect that they were having, right? But I always also feel that a bit of Hisao, due to his fear and his mind being clouded by doubtfulness, that he was sort of just overthinking things a bit too much as well. Like, yeah, Rin is a very complicated person, and she is hard to understand, but not everything is, when it comes to her, not everything is always complicated. Not everything is always hard to understand. Sometimes it's actually very, very easy, but due to the fact that you think she is hard to understand or that you don't understand her, you start to think in more complex ways rather than, you know, thinking on simple basic levels. Because the main part that I feel, right, is that whole part with her painting in the exhibition, we've mentioned it a few times before, but it's just that she really felt like she had to focus on that right now. And that was sort of, I think, she pointed it out really beautifully when she just said "not now." She did, by which means she says that not that it can be later or not at all. She just didn't want to do it right now because she's busy with her painting, and that's sort of all she was focused in at that moment. And that's for her, you know, part of her again, like living in the present. She just felt like this is something that she needs to do right now. And yes, Hisao, I do like you. Yes, Hisao, I might even be in love with you. Yes, Hisao, I do share your feelings, but now is not the time for that. And I just felt like Hisao didn't understand that, obviously, and therefore just felt completely rejected almost, or like he was being used, like Rin was just playing with his emotions and that sort of stuff, which is not true at all. But yeah, I think we should end the video definitely here. So once again, just thank you guys so very much for watching. This route was amazing to play through. I hope you enjoyed watching through it as well, because, you know, looking at the screen is awesome right now because you can see Emmy route complete, Rin route complete with the pictures, like the little scraps of papers with the drawings on it. And there are 3 more routes to fill it with, so it's gonna be amazing, and we're gonna fill up this entire screen, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, just once again, you people are all awesome for watching and for enjoying this, because, you know, the biggest part and enjoyment that I get out of doing these types of videos is like, yeah, I absolutely love story games, and I love reading it, and I love enjoying the story, dissecting the story, just trying to understand the story and everything that's going on. But above all else, I love sharing it with other people, and you know, sharing that enjoyment that I get out of these story games with other people. And you know, just to have that, just to think that there are people out there that are actually, you know, enjoying this along with me, really means a lot to me, and it's just awesome in general. So, you know, thank you guys so much. That's all I want to say. So, you know what, I'll see you guys in the next video. So, see ya.